Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that little edit. I'm going to be giving my review of this product, the Caliathletics static bar. I'll just be explaining my experience with it and whether I think you should get it. So first of all, why did I get this bar? Well, I definitely needed a new static bar because my existing dip bar was not stable, and it was also not wide enough for me to train the variations that I need to do. Regular FLPU variations is no longer sufficient for me. I need to do wide combos, archer combos, sat, transitions, and I just can't do that on my current regular dip bar. So I needed a new static bar, and I was actually planning on getting a Gornation static bar because it's affordable for one. It's reliable, like the customer service and manufacturing seem pretty solid, at least for this product. And it's also really light and portable, so if I need to take it around with me, it would be pretty convenient for that. Gornation also released like a static bar 2.0, which seemed more stable than the previous version, which I had trained on before. So I wanted to try it, but unfortunately the US has these trade duties with Germany right now, which basically raised the cost of the bar by $200 or $300, which is more than the cost of the bar itself. So that just didn't make sense to me. The other one I might have considered was Thenix, because even though it's newer to the static bar scene and maybe to the street workout scene, they have been making calisthenics equipment for years now, so I felt like the reliability must be pretty good. They also are based in the US, so I figured shipping would be better than these European companies. But unfortunately, their static bar is sold out right now, so I couldn't buy that. And then the two last bars I considered were from Calisthenics Pro and Gravity Fitness. I think one thing that's interesting about both of these is the Calisthenics Pro one has adjustable bars in terms of width, and I think even diameter. You can like customize those parameters for your bar, but they were out of stock as well. And I honestly don't really like the aesthetic of Calisthenics Pro products. Not that they're bad or anything. I'm sure the quality is great, but like for me, the static bar is like, it's like a piece of equipment that I'll be using for my lifetime. So I want it to be really fit with whatever style that I like. And same thing with the Gravity Fitness. It just felt like too many mechanical parts. Didn't feel smooth and elegant enough. And it also, yeah, definitely wasn't wide enough, wasn't thick enough. And there's these like tabs on the bottom of the bar that I don't like. For price slash shipping, the Caliathletic bar cost me $300. I used the 10% Onizuka discount, and then shipping was an extra $20. I think in total, like I ended up paying $320 for everything, which is more on the expensive side. It's actually about twice as expensive as some of the other static bars that I mentioned. But again, this is a once in a lifetime purchase for me. For shipping, it took about 1 week before they shipped me the bar, or after my purchase date. And they gave me an email receipt that said they generally ship between 24 and 48 hours of purchase. So it did kind of betray my expectations a little bit. But also, to be fair, they had a merch drop around the same time that I bought the bar. And I'm sure it's not easy to ship a static bar considering how heavy it is. And they're like a somewhat small scale brand, even though they're really popular. So I can understand that. It took about 3 weeks for the bar to arrive from when I bought it. They shipped it without a proper shipping label, so that delayed the process a bit by about 5 days. And I had to reach out to customer service in order to print a new label, and that took a couple days to do. When I received the product, it came in a rectangular box and there was a hole in one of the sides. The bar itself was kind of sticking out of it, so I was worried that maybe some parts had fallen out during shipping. Everything was in it, so that's good. There was no damage due to shipping, but the equipment did have like some minor surface damage, like scratches. The rubber end caps on some of the metal parts were slightly deformed at their insertion locations, but still fully functional. The screws were all right when I threaded them through the bar into the support. It did kind of strip away some of that powder coating. I mean, it still did the job done. And lastly, I guess they didn't provide any tools for assembling the static bar. so I had to use my own wrench. I think given how much the product costs, it would be nice if they, included some extra hardware, like some extra screws and stuff, and also like a portable wrench. That would be really nice. Okay, now let's talk about how the quality of the product itself, not just my experience buying it and putting it together. First, for the height and the width. So the width is really good. I don't think I actually need all of the width that it has, but it's nice because I think the width helps a little bit with stability in the lateral direction. For the height, I think it's probably 2 or 3 inches shorter than what is ideal for me. Ideally, with front lever elements, you would like the bar to be around your center of mass. So for me, it's like maybe my belly button, but it's about at my hip area. That makes it so I have to put a little bit more energy in my entries to get into the position. My height is like 5'10" or 178 cm. I imagine the height of most people who train high-level front lever elements are between like 5'4" and 5'8". So for people in that height range, I'm sure it's the perfect height. For the grip and the thickness, it's a very thick bar. It's 40 millimeters in diameter, and this is great for a false grip. I will say the material is like this powder-coated steel, right? Or powder-coated metal, whatever it is. And you absolutely need grip tape if you're going to be using it. It's just really slippery because of how thick the bar diameter is, and just because our hands naturally have some moisture, right? So the grip tape I used, it's actually pretty interesting. I normally use tennis grip tape for my bars, but they're kind of expensive, and considering how long the bar is, it would take a lot of rolls to completely wrap the bar, not to mention that if the tape breaks somewhere in the middle, I might have to retape the entire bar, which is too annoying for me. So I opted for hockey grip tape, which comes in a lot longer rolls and has a different texture. So tennis grip tape is kind of like slightly cushiony and, of course, has good grip, good friction. I would say the hockey grip tape is rougher and it's stickier. I think that just by using it over time, the stickiness will go down, but I might buy powder chalk to go with it because that way the chalk will kind of cover some of that stickiness and just leave me with that rough, dry feeling that I'm looking for right now. And if I really want the tennis grip tape feeling, I can just wrap a layer of it over the hockey grip tape. But for now, I think I'm good with the hockey grip tape. If you'd like to support my channel, I will link the grip tape that I use in the description. For the weight and size, as you know, it's very large. I'm not going to give you the exact dimension because you can find it online, but the weight is like 35 pounds, which I see as a good balance. It's not too light to the point where you lose stability when doing dynamics, but it's not too heavy to the point where you can't transport it, right? So I think that's just a good balance for a home gym and occasionally going out with it. I think the last thing I want to talk about is whether people should get it, because this is a more expensive product, 300 euros or whatever it is. And I think for what you're paying, this is really good for a static bar. I have almost no complaints about it in terms of its functional quality, and stylistically, I think it's a good aesthetic. There are some cons though, which is it needs a lot of space and it's somewhat heavy. And if you don't plan on training straight arm touch or doing really explosive variations, you most likely don't need this bar and are better off getting one of the lighter and more portable static bars. But if you do plan on training SAT or really explosive combinations or anything requiring a really solid false grip, this is a really good bar. And as I mentioned, the shipping and customer service is slightly questionable, but I would say it's not bad. You just have to monitor your order and check up on it every once in a while, especially if you're shipping to a different country from Poland. Overall, really solid product. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and see you next time.